there I was. I didn't really know what to do. I was at a loss. Thought I knew what to do exactly. But sometimes there's just things that just happen, and you just don't know what to do. You try. Things don't always go your way. So, I wanted to be part of the cool kids, because they always gave promise, and I just didn't have it. So I tried. All of the cool kids wore Hello Kitty backpacks. I never had one. I really tried. When I spoke to the Yamaguchi, they said they will take me in, but you gotta shoplift first. I could do that. Went to a store, and this was back in 2042. I had a time machine. And I thought, what would a cool kid steal? So I grabbed an apple. I was actually on my way out. The doors slid open. I was 2 steps away. 2 steps. But then the cashier said, "Sir, you have to pay for that." I locked up. It was Christmas time, and I went to go stand in line. When it was my turn, I paid in quarters. But then I was handed the receipt. It was at that point I realized, this is evidence. So I couldn't. I was heading out. Just like before. 2 steps. I was like, no. I gotta do this. I was meant for this. I decided I wasn't gonna stand in line, and I cut in front. They said you couldn't do that. I had an argument with them. It lasted for 2 hours. Once security got involved, they called for backup. Velvet Mafia was on their way. And I didn't want any problems between the Yamaguchi. in the Velvet Mafia, so I walked away. On my way out, there was a little 2-year-old. He was looking at my shoes. He kept looking at them. I wanted to ask why. And he just told me. What are those? I wanted to punch him. I had so much anger. But I couldn't. Not in front of his mom. I knew what she would have said. Please. Kick him while he's down. I never was so insulted before in my life. I never was the same again after that. I tried my hardest. I really tried. The Liv you knew on that day was not the same. I took therapy, thinking it would help. Thinking it would do something. We went a long way. Long way. Like you could smell the goal line. And took therapy for years to try and get over it. All for a Hello Kitty backpack. Wanted to be part of the Yamaguchi. And so then I still remember it to this day. I showed up early, as usual. I was right there I was in the waiting room. I could have swore it was the same kid from before. That parking lot started this all. But I knew it could have been him. Because I'm positive that was 4 years ago. I'm pretty sure this kid was 6. So it couldn't have been the same. And it was at that point, much like before, he looked at me and he said, "Mommy, I want a balloon. I want that one." He was pointing at me. He was pointing. It was so hard. It's very difficult. I'm never going to be part of the cool kids. Never.
Sir, are you okay? Because, this is a McDonald's. Can I take your order?
Yeah, Joe, don't go. I mean, who's gonna give me that extra push I need? Boy, you children really are stupid. Well, maybe I should stick around. Looks like they're gonna need somebody to lean on. Yeah!
Alrighty then!
Lean on me when you're not strong. Now
I made a huge mistake. So basically, I just finished watching, right now today's Friday, and I just finished watching the Like a Dragon Yakuza Prime Video TV series. I saw every single episode. From the looks of things, I'm guessing there's like only 6 episodes, so I will know by this time next week if there's any more. Basically, I was very harsh in the beginning, and I now realize why they went with the direction that they did, the characters that they did, the story they told, and it wrapped up beautifully. You could easily just get this out of the way, hand over fist, game is always going to be better. But if you want an alternative and actually have it have legs and be viable to some degree, this was really, really good. And again, I'm going to keep this very vague, very spoiler-free, both for the game and the show as well for this particular video. I think that goes without saying. I am very blown away by everything that I saw. I could definitely say this isn't the best. I think there's definitely a lot of room it could have improved, but I think much like how harsh I was to the characters, I think I could safely say now that all of that is just nitpicking. Yes, I still have problems with... I still stand by what I said, but also at the same time, it's like now I understand the reasonings to do so. They went the route they did to keep everybody on their feet, on their toes, so that way you can't predict what is about to happen next, because this is a whole new story, whole new timeline, and they went the route they did so that way they can be unpredictable. And quite frankly, if you think about it, it's actually a damn good method. I heavily approve of it. This is going to be the last video that I'm going to do that is spoiler-free. I'm going to be doing a full review of the TV series. There is still one mild problem that I'm going to have, and that is basically, should I go funny or should I go serious? And because of everything, I feel like I should keep it serious just because that's how the show is, and that's how the main story for Yakuza is always serious. But I think I'm going to end up doing like a funny review. I'm just basically gonna do a lot of tongue-in-cheek and just have fun with it. This is also going to be difficult in the sense of, with all the projects I basically have right now, like, I don't know when I'm going to get to this. So basically, I'm going to probably be late to the show. I'm sure there's going to be plenty of people that's going to have reviews, but I also did take a mild look, at least on this Friday that I'm recording this. I did notice, I did look at some, or tried to find some full reviews, and I can't really find any. So one thing is for sure, if no one's going to talk about it, I'm going to talk about it. I really didn't think I would be here. I really didn't think I would be doing a full review. But I'm doing a full review for multiple reasons. It's one way to say I'm sorry. It's another way to say well, this is my punishment. So I'm going to do it. Yeah, this is going to be on my to-do list, and I don't know when I'm going to get this video out, but basically, yeah, it's basically now official. I'm going to be doing a Yakuza review. I was debating on having this video be the review, and then I realized, I mean, I gave it a 2 out of 10, and thinking, well, everything was hijacked, they were telling their own story, it's kind of meaningless, and I'm sitting here now just kind of, I'm not in shock, but I am taken back to how good it turned out. So this is just basically a way to just, one, apologize, but also two, like, I think it does deserve it. And who knows, things might change depending on if I see other people give reviews, because the ones I'm seeing now is from the first 3 episodes, and if you're going by the first 3 episodes, I think you can safely say, yeah, the show's bad. But if you actually go through it and see for yourself, there's a lot of good here. A lot of good. And again, by no means is this to a high quality of the game. I guess this is one way to put it. The show didn't do the game justice, but the show did its own self justice by proving that it can hold on its own 2 feet. I think that's quite possibly the best way to say it. And it's weird to be in an awkward position like this, because I think I could safely say I don't necessarily recommend watching the show, because hand over fist, I'm always going to say go with the game. It's way better, because I am thinking first impressions is kind of everything. So anytime to where I could say game, that's where I'm gonna go. So, but like in a circumstance to where someone is like, they can't stand looking at 3D, they probably hate video games, yada yada yada. For that particular individual, if you're more into films, TV shows, etc., in that scenario, this is a no-brainer. Yes, it's for that individual, this is a recommend. However, when it comes to someone that never played the game and they want to get into Yakuza, for that individual, I will say play the game. For those that played the game, know what it's like, you want more, this TV show is for us. That's who this is for. If you can appreciate art, if you can appreciate, and that's another thing, appreciate art, but also appreciate an adaptation, this is solid. 10 out of 10? Absolutely not. But is it like a pretty decent show? Abso-freaking-lutely it is. I went from absolutely hating and despising this show to now it's a case of, if there's a season 2, we're doing it. We're doing it. I'm going to see how people react to the new episodes, so definitely if I see a lot of hate, I'm going to say stop, hold your horses. I'm pretty sure this deserves a positive review. You can still go through it, nitpick the stuff that you don't like, because there is stuff that I don't like. I'm not going to get into it for this video, because I definitely want to keep everything positive. And again, this is just incredibly awkward, because like I kind of went in just wanting to hate it. I'm not gonna lie, I really wanted to hate it. If this was not a Yakuza adaptation and it was just like a mob flick, I would again sit here and possibly give it a higher score, but it probably won't be that high, because I went from a 2. I'm probably gonna say, even as a fan, I will probably say this is like a solid 7, 6, somewhere in there. But if this was its own thing, I would probably be saying like it's probably like about an 8 or a 9, I think, if this wasn't tied to the Yakuza name. Because if you're going by the Yakuza name, you have established characters, and you want to keep those established characters the way they are. I will say, again, keeping everything vague, spoiler-free, for the show, I will say it did take about episode 5, I want to say, is when it really brought everything around, I think. I think there was stuff that did take place in episode 4 that was doing some good, and 5, I think, really was like the kick that it needed for the series. And episode 6 was kind of, looking at it, I'm thinking they're probably looking at it, the way they told the story, they opened that door for season 2. They really opened that door for season 2. I don't think they're going to be doing any more episodes. I could be wrong. There could probably be a couple more episodes next week. I will be looking to see if there is more episodes. But I'm going to give this some time to see what everybody else is saying about it. And I'm also going to wait and see if there are more episodes, but looking at it, I think it's going to stop at 6. And if you are a fan of the series, as long as you keep your expectations low and understand that characters and things are going to change, it's not going to be one-to-one, it's not going to be perfect. As long as you could pull that back, I think you could easily enjoy this. If you're going in 1-to-1, you're gonna be in for a bad time. Like you're gonna absolutely hate this. And honestly, I feel like right there is the difference between the reviews, I think. Because like whenever there's a game out and there's like a whole bunch of bugs, yeah, there's gonna be times to where you're gonna come across bugs, and depending on the person rating the game, they would either be lenient on those bugs or they would be very harsh on those bugs. For me, I am in the ballpark of, you know, as long as it's not game breaking, if it's something I could laugh off, then I think we're good. If you're going in 1-to-1, you're going to have a bad time. You're not going to like anything that you're going to see. And low reviews and hatred is gonna be running very strong. I understand this isn't perfect. It's not high on my list of, you know, great films, great TV shows, great movies. There's plenty of other better ones out there, I think, in my opinion. But as like a okay show, okay story, okay characters, this is pretty solid all around. And again, recommendations, it's hard to say. It really is. I also do want to say, for the love of God, don't just skip to episode 5 and episode 6. You do kind of need to see that build up. So, you know, So yeah, I would recommend do watch the entire show, but keep a lookout for, you could probably see where it's going in episode 4, and episode 5 should be the one, I think, for a lot of people. And basically, that's where I'm at with it. So, overall, I think this is a solid 6. On the low end for me, I think I could safely say 7 is pretty on the high end. It's that good. Honestly, I think it might end in failure, just simply because I think the bad reviews came out first, and I think they're just gonna drop it, is my guess. But yeah, I'm looking forward to a season 2. I hope it happens, and I do kind of feel like the acting is good for what it was. Again, there are some things I would have liked to see changed and what have you, but overall, this was good. And yeah, so I'm pretty much just gonna go ahead and leave everything there, I think. So yeah, links down below to support me and my channel. Really do appreciate all those that do. And I think I'm out of here. Born to lose, live to win. I love you guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.
Mr. Gorbachev, tear down this wall. Tear it down. Reagan smash. Reagan smash.
What's that?
Oh, it's just...
Live to win.
Just leave him alone. He'll tire himself out.
Reagan sleepy.